I didn't really think it was gonna go viral like it did.
Nor did him and Brown think this video
Look at HPD, man. Look, they out here doing donuts, man.
would set off an internet war between him and the Houston Police Officers Union.
Just leave me alone. I don't want no problems.
When Brown first spoke to ABC 13, he said officers were having reckless fun and doing exactly what they told citizens not to do.
We're human. We like to have a good time just like they do.
The police union proceeded to poke fun at Brown for his cracked windshield on Facebook and called him a snitch.
He took it a little serious, and then things may have went off the rails a little bit.
The attacks got more personal and included reposted videos of Brown ghost riding his own vehicle.
You can't do what he does in public and then turn around and call out others.
It's really messing with me because y'all posting all my business on social media. It's like y'all doing a lot to me, and y'all really getting me scared, like, because I ain't did nothing. I ain't did nothing wrong. Y'all was in the wrong.
Brown says it sets a bad precedent when police ask citizens to speak up, and when someone does, even over something minor, the union goes after them.
They were trying to be dismissive of their behavior by saying that the young man was doing something similar, but do two wrongs make it right?
University of Houston Clear Lake criminology professor Kimberly Dodson says the police union's actions were textbook retaliation and doesn't agree with them making light of the situation.
The citizens see that, and they're less likely to take the police seriously.
Brown wasn't the only Houstonian to catch officers in the middle of snow stunts. Another video was posted to social media showing a marked patrol vehicle in the Galleria also doing donuts.
They know what they did was wrong. It's been taken care of. And for the public to be concerned about complaining on police officers, there's no concern there. You can complain all you want. We don't go hunting people they complain on police officers. That's not what we do.
Community activists say it begs the question of the purpose of airing out Brown's dirty laundry and how that may impact public trust going forward.
You wanted to send a message to all other young men in this community and everywhere else that if you expose police misconduct, we're going to target you.
That's HPD.
I'm Alex Bozargian, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
And you're watching KSLA News 12 at 10. New in our crime tracker tonight, Caddo Parish Sheriff's Deputy Earl Armstrong Jr. has been arrested for battery against his dating partner. Here's what we know so far. Investigators were alerted by Armstrong's girlfriend, who accused him of committing battery after she confronted him about seeing another woman. Video of the incident led to Armstrong admitting to the battery and being charged on one count of battery. Armstrong has been employed with the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office since April of 2019.
Good morning and welcome to the Bad Apple Report. It's 7:30 a.m. bright and early right here at home on the range. Thank you so much for being here today, folks. I really appreciate it. Let's start out in Indiana, Anderson, Indiana, where this former Anderson school resource officer has been charged with child solicitation. He retires before his trial. Hey, wait a second, buddy. I guess he pardoned himself preemptively. Nothing to see here. Former school resource officer in Anderson is retired while awaiting trial for felony counts of child solicitation and official misconduct. The Anderson Police Department confirmed Tuesday that 50-year-old Joshua Cincinnati has officially retired after informing the Anderson Board of Public Safety of his decision this week. You guys recognize this goofball, don't you? Yeah, we reported on him. Anderson Police Chief Michael Lee had requested the Anderson Board of Safety terminate Cincinnati's employment status with the department. Lee also confirmed that Cincinnati was placed on paid administrative leave when the investigation got underway. Okay, so he's been getting paid all this time. Well, they could say they tried to fire him. Anyways, according to previous reports, the investigation was launched in June when Indiana State Police were informed by a concerned parent that Cincinnati, who previously worked at APD's Criminal Investigation Division, had allegedly sent texts containing sexually explicit messages to several teen boys. Cincinnati reportedly worked as a school resource officer at the time for Highland Middle School, where he is also accused of partaking in inappropriate conversations in person. Hey, dude, Cincinnati, creepo, allegedly. Previous reporting indicates that Cincinnati told investigators that the texts were meant to be jokes and nothing more when confronted about the online and in-person conversations. Yeah, they always say that. Throughout the investigation, detectives found that Cincinnati had allegedly sent the teens money via Cash App to spend on food. Cincinnati is facing 3 preliminary counts of child solicitation, each a 5-level felony, and 1 count of official misconduct. That's level 6 felony. Okay, according to the online records, Cincinnati is set to appear in Madison Court Division 6 on April 25th for a dispositional hearing. Willity, well. Okay, Cincinnati, you're a knucklehead. You've been on the Bad Apple Report too many times, but we'll be there for his sentencing. All right, on with the show.
I stand here today with quite a few emotions. Sad, extremely mad, very disappointed.
An array of emotions from Sheriff Leon Lott after K-9 specialists Isaac Page and Corey Mayo have been terminated and arrested, both on charges of misconduct in office. Page has been with the department since 2021, and Mayo's been with the department since 2022.
We trusted them to go out and do their job. We trusted them to do the right thing. But these two did not. They broke the law, and they're going to be treated just like anybody who's a common thief.
The two were both Richland County K-9 handlers and worked the same shift together and had stolen department-issued equipment, including muzzles, leashes, gun vaults, and other K-9 equipment. Both were terminated last week and arrested Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. following an investigation that found they had been selling the stolen items through an online marketplace under a false name. Sheriff Lott says this is insult to injury to their K-9 department.
Last year was a tough year for our K-9 unit. We lost 3 that were killed. We had another one shot. I will say this, though. I apologize to the community. I apologize to all the men and women who wear the uniform. You know, for what these two have done, they tarnished the badge. And all of us good cops, now we're going to suffer some for what they've done. You know, those who don't like cops will say they're all bad cops. They're not. The majority of the cops that put this uniform on are good and honest. They go about it the right way. Unfortunately, these two did.
Thank you very much. A Morgan County Jail correctional officer is charged with battery. This stems from an incident involving a jail inmate earlier this month. Jacob Ewert, you see him right there on your screen, is a 7-year employee of the department. He's charged with battery and official misconduct. He has been fired. We're working to learn more about what exactly happened.
I gotta admit, folks, I wish I had opened the show with this guy. This is going to be funny. Peevely, Missouri officer charged with damaging driver's side mirror with baton while directing traffic. Oh, Mr. Grumpy Pants. Let's see. Peevely, Missouri. An officer in the Peevely Police Department has been charged after damaging a driver's side mirror with his baton while directing traffic. Peevely. Isn't that a perfect name for this guy? Peevely. He's so peevely. He really is. According to court documents, Steve J. Roth, 31, was charged with, I guess his name's not Peevely. He lives in Peevely. Well, he's a peevely person. All right. Stephen J. Roth, age 31, was charged with felony, first-degree property damage. Roth's charges stem from an altercation he had with a driver while directing traffic in the area of Commercial Boulevard and Horine Road in August. Woo, Horine! Okay, police say he was directing vehicles to turn right on Commercial Boulevard when the driver of a 2021 Silverado made a U-turn in the northbound lanes of Commercial. Oh, cops don't like, especially this guy. These peevely cops that are all peeved all the time, they don't like that. Okay, leading to Roth to strike the vehicle's driver's side mirror with his baton. See? Just like I said. The damages totaled $750. Roth's plea date is set for February 24th. I wonder what he's going to plea. You know what? He's going to make it on the cover of the Bad Apple Report's what he's going to do. All right, let's move on with the show.
Eric, the lawsuits that are being brought against Christopher Bolin are by 2 adult men, but ABC 13 was there back in 2023 when video was captured of a similar arrest of a teenager. And according to lawsuits, a victim I spoke to today, even our previous reporting, these alleged incidents seem to follow a common thread. First, there will be some sort of traffic violation. Typically, it seems like it's minor, an illegal turn or out-of-date registration. The person will be pulled over and surrounded by a number of patrol cars. The accusers say Bolin quickly becomes aggressive. They're forcibly removed from their cars, beaten, arrested, and charged with assault of a peace officer or even infringing on official duties. In all cases, the charges against the accused were dropped. Alexander Williams is one of the alleged victims. He says that he wasn't surprised that he's one of several people to make these allegations.
It makes perfect sense. You don't wake up one day and be a criminal. You don't wake up one day and be a pastor. You know, you work towards this.
And in all three of these incidents, Bolin was currently a deputy with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. As for that 2023 incident involving that teen, we're told that investigation led to all deputies involved in that incident receiving some sort of infraction. And eventually, at the end of 2023, Bolin was terminated. Now, I have confirmed with the Harris County Constable's Precinct 2 that right now, Bolin is part of their team and is active with their department patrolling the streets. I have asked them if they knew about Bolin's past when they hired him. I'm waiting to hear back.
Well, here's some news on this cop we've reported on. This Sanger police officer has been convicted now on 8 counts of sexually assaulting women while on duty. Fresno, California. On Wednesday, a federal jury in Fresno convicted former Sanger Police Department officer J. Deshaun Torrance, 42, on 8 counts of deprivation of constitutional rights under the color of law for sexually assaulting 4 women whom he encountered during the course of his official duties. The jury found that these offenses included kidnapping, aggravated sexual abuse, attempted aggravated sexual abuse, and also bodily injury. Okay, Deputy Assistant Attorney General Kathleen Wolf of the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division and the Acting U.S. Attorney Michelle Beckwith of the Eastern District of California and the Special Agent in Charge Siddhartha Patel of the FBI Sacramento Field Office made this announcement. The evidence at the trial proved that Torrance sexually assaulted 4 women. He kidnapped a 21-year-old who was walking to the store to buy groceries for her young children, drove her outside of the town in his police car, actually assaulted her in an isolated dead end. Okay, Torrance forcibly raped a second victim, a 67-year-old woman, after following her home during a DUI investigation. With a third victim, Torrance showed up at her door in police uniform after midnight, entered her apartment, pinned her against the kitchen counter, and actually assaulted her. Torrance showed up multiple times at the home. The fourth victim, a domestic violence person, who supposedly the investigation prior to the domestic violence incident. Okay, I muddled that, but you know what's going on. During those follow-up visits, Torrance forced the victim to expose sensitive parts of their body for no legitimate reason, and he actually assaulted her. Okay, law enforcement, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to read any of that. FBI Sacramento Field Division, they're grateful to the brave victims that came forward, and that's wonderful. We are too. Thank you so much. FBI Field Office investigated the scene with assistance from the Fresno County Sheriff's Office, and everybody did a good job. Okay, Torrance is scheduled to be sentenced May 7th, 2025. Torrance faces a maximum penalty of life in prison, $250,000 fine. For 5 of the counts, the remaining counts each carry a penalty of 1 year in prison, a fine of up to $100,000. The actual sentence, however, will be determined into the discretion of the court after considering the applicable statutory factors. Okay, so for now, we know he's got... All right. I think. Okay, let's move on.
Camera. I'm telling you what she said. Okay, bye-bye. All right, goodbye.
Right now at 6, we are getting new body cam video from the night embattled East Lyme Police Chief Mike Finkelstein was arrested.
This all stems from June of 2023 when police say arguments with his wife turned physical. Your reporter in New London County is Luke Hydash. He's been covering this case from the start. He's live in East Lyme with this new video. Luke.
Irene, Stephanie, we recently got hours worth of this video from the Connecticut State Police, and it shows everything from when Finkelstein is placed in handcuffs at his home to when he's brought to Troop K in Colchester to be booked.
Hey, unfortunately, we have an arrest warrant for you. This is the best way to do it, isn't it? Yeah, we consider other ways, but we'd rather not do it at your work.
3 state troopers show up to serve a warrant on Michael Finkelstein last June. This new body camera video shows it all. At times, Finkelstein is confrontational.
Yeah, for policy, I still got to cuff you behind the back and everything like that. So turn around for me.
It's not your policy, but...
Okay. Well,
you know for a fact it's not your policy. You don't have handcuffing policy to say you do.
But when I transport you, we have to handcuff you behind the back.
You don't actually, but...
Okay.
Hey, I'll teach you your own policies in a little bit.
Even argumentative.
So it's breach and disorderly? They did breach and disorderly, yeah. For what? Just the whole incident overall. So in my own house,
whose peace was breached.
And other times is calm and quiet, silent in fact, as he's riding in the passenger seat of a cruiser, handcuffed, being brought to Troop K in Colchester to be booked.
The right to remain silent.
Right now, Finkelstein is facing charges of disorderly conduct, breach of peace, violation of a protective order, and giving a false statement. Some of this relating to arguments with his wife, police say turned physical. Others over a gun police say wasn't properly disclosed to them. In the video, Finkelstein is booked. Eventually, he bonds out, and he's been off the job on paid leave ever since. The town has hired an outside law firm to conduct an investigation. Finkelstein's labor attorney tells us commenting on the body camera video would be premature, but says portions of the body camera footage were part of the internal investigation review. We are anxiously awaiting the final investigative report. We learned Friday the town hopes to have that report back by the end of the month. There were other times that officers from here in East Lyme responded to Finkelstein's home as well. We have requested that body camera footage, but not received it quite yet. As far as Finkelstein on the court side of things, he's due back in court much later this year. He has applied for it is in a diversion program, which means his charges could eventually be dropped.
The chief's resignation, when I initially received it, made me sad.
Mayor Victoria Woodard suggested she was caught a bit off guard by Chief Avery Moore's decision.
I was a little surprised, wasn't quite anticipating his resignation, but it's a tough job. And he's the one who gets to make the best decision for himself and his family.
It comes about 4 months after Moore was placed on leave over what the city called personal use of city assets. He was quickly reinstated. But in the background of all that, the police union had grown increasingly vocal about what they called a disconnect between officers and the administration.
I know that the work I've expected from the chief has gotten done, and that's all I can tell you about that.
We're probably not going to know what's really going on in the background other than City of Tacoma is going to need a new chief.
Former King County Sheriff and King 5 law enforcement analyst John Urquhart says that type of tension is hard to overcome.
It can be very, very difficult to regain that trust once it's lost. They're not in any mood to forgive and forget. Typically, it's tough for the city, it's tough for the department when they lose their chief, regardless of what the circumstances are.
In his resignation letter, Moore said he's stepping away from law enforcement altogether, but highlighted his efforts to reduce crime and build community trust.
I would say Tacoma is better off because he chose to work here. But still, the choice is his, but still very sad to see him leave Tacoma.
So Moore's resignation will go into effect on February 3rd. Mayor Woodard said the city manager is already in the process of appointing an interim, but there's no official timetable moving forward. Live in Tacoma, Jim Nelson, King 5 News.
All righty, here's a brain teaser for you. Virginia correctional officers arrested at Gainesville Correctional Center. Whoa, how does that work? Jarrett, Virginia, 3 correctional officers have been arrested in connection with 2 separate incidents of reported violence at Greensville Correctional Center in Jarrett. Let's find out, you guys. The Virginia Department of Corrections VDOC confirmed the arrests, stating the first incident occurred on November 1st, 2024. An officer was taken into custody by the department's Office of Law Enforcement Services following a use of force that resulted in an inmate requiring hospitalization for treatment of injuries. Oh, it's one of those. It's what they do. Okay, he was charged with misdemeanor assault and battery. The officer, who had been hired in November 2022, was scheduled for a hearing, which has now been postponed to February 25th. Okay. In the second reported incident, which took place in November 21st, another inmate was injured and needed medical care outside the facility. Two more officers were arrested for their alleged roles in this case. CBS 6 has conducted a series of investigative reports into the issue of the Virginia prison, including severe staffing shortages, injured officers, and concerns over inmate deaths, overdoses, and injuries. Dang. The VDOC has zero tolerance for abuse of blood. We're not going to read that. Well, that's what's going on. It looks like these Virginia correctional officers have been arrested at the Greensville Correctional Center. Okay, folks, let's move on with the show.
This is now also investigating prosecutors who charged those January 6th rioters. They've been ordered to hand over all related files in those cases. Some of those prosecutors now fear that they could be the ones who are charged.
So we're just through the first month of 2025, and can you imagine how many bad apples we've covered already? Just today. It's amazing. Let's keep it going, though, folks. I really appreciate you being here every morning to watch the Bad Apple Report with me. And I'm going to whip up another batch of bad apples just for you, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. bright and early. Have a great day.